dear me, it is happening! The void, the darkness, dear me, dear me, dear me, time lies in tatters! There's this place, this pit that lies to the north. It is a rift of chaos, an epicenter of a time and space-devouring force. Void demons are besetting Rivellon, and the storms of chaos are shuddering through our own dear homestead. Demons creep through the rift! They must all be destroyed! Not just any demons, void demons. They are impervious to attacks with weapons or magic that any creature of this world can muster. But they have one weakness, for their simmering presence has permeated this area through and through for a long time. Tenebrium, that is the answer. The black ore that is dark as the void itself. Arm yourself with this foul material, and you shall be able to shred their bloodstone that controls their portal. The rift is the portal through which the demons seep. There is blood magic at work here, and he who says blood magic says immaculates. A bloodstone fuels the rift. Obliterate it, and the rift shall close. I've scouted ahead a bit and seen that 3 paths, or what passes for paths, lead to the center of the wasteland that lies before you. To the left is an encampment of immaculates. Yes, they're but immaculates, but their weapons look sharp as shark's teeth. So don't barge in like cats at a dog's wedding. The central path is a big no-no too, brimming with demons. I really wouldn't recommend it. Which leaves the right path, which may not be the right path at all, for it is deceptively calm along its trail and positively overflowing with magma. So basically, I can offer you 3 options, all of them as appetizing as pig feed. And yet you'll have to swallow your portion whole. If not, the end of time will be swept into the void, and Rivellon with it. They exist beyond the normal continuum of time. They are here, and they are sweeping through the winds of chaos at the end of ages, shredding what they find. Unless they are defeated, your home away from home shall sink into the maelstrom of oblivion piece by piece. Do what you can, my friend. Do not falter. All depends on your prowess, and our homestead won't grow an inch until you've solved this dire matter.
By the looks of things, it seems we're heading towards Hunter's Edge, the town where I was stationed before I met you lot. Before we get there, you should know the whole yarn. What I saw there, why I fled. Yes, comrade, I fled a coward bearing the insignia of a sauce hunter. I think so, comrade. Even though you might never look at me the same way, I hope I won't lose you as compatriots. We, the villagers and myself, were corralled in the town square. The orcish queen sauntered into the middle, proud of the chaos she'd created. She screamed if we knew why they had come. Slowly, she approached me and leaned close, her hot, foul breath like fire on my face. With one hand, she clasped my throat. With the other, she reached into my pocket and pulled out the gem I'd taken from the orcs I'd killed earlier that day. I was a thief, she said. I'd taken something dear to her, and I had earned punishment. I thought she'd destroy me right then and there, but she did something worse. That's right, comrade, and I was soon to find out why. She brought forth one of her soldiers, A larger orc I'd never seen, and he was covered in black, gleaming armor. She placed the stone in his chest plate, and something happened. He transformed into something I'll never forget. She made me watch as she sent villager after villager before the great transformed beast. He crushed them all, one by one, each more gruesomely than the last. He seemed to revel in the work. I could do nothing, comrade. I couldn't save them. I couldn't help them. I could only watch. Don't you see it's already over? Don't you see it's too late? These orcs weren't out for riches or land. They only came for blood. No. All that's left in Hunter's Edge is a debt to be paid, comrade. And I intend to collect it.
Brimstone, ash, and chaos. While that demon rages on in the cooler north, our simple shelter plane will be brought to simple ruin.
There is magic to this place, isn't there? No matter how forlorn it seems.
But it is not.
Southeast to Hunter's Edge, north to incomparable suffering. Well then.
Southeast it is. For now, at least.
Only going to say it once more. Troll Toll, 4,000 gold. Can't you count, you bloody walrus? 3 guards and 3 heads of slaves. You make cows pay toll too. You fancy little titles don't mean a thing to the king. Pay per head or find another route, chicken bones. You know as well as I, there's no other route. I'm offering fair coin for our passage here. You must see reason. 4,000 gold. Chicken bones. Fine. Here's 3,000, and that's a bloody theft. You fancy little titles don't mean a thing to the king. Pay per head or find another route, chicken bone. Hold on now. One whelp at a time. You'll pay your toll soon as I'm through knocking this loudmouth back in line. The fool thinks he can slip 6 warm bodies past Rumble for the price of 1, he does. Lousy bomb, may as well thieve from King Gungia's very coffers. If I've said it once, I've said it more times than a troll can count. Warm bodies do not people make. We are 3 immaculates and 3 slaves, and I won't empty my pocket over chattel.
This sounds like a matter of opinion. These two ought to resolve it on their own terms.
No need to insert ourselves where we don't belong. Good day, gentlemen.
Enough. I'll not let this idiot troll or his idiot king hinder the goddess's affairs a moment longer. In her name, I bid thee fight. If I've not got any gold in my pouch, you'll not get any head on your shoulders. Rules are rules, chicken bones. If no one pays, everyone dies. Play the blubber from this fool. I think I'll make a candle from his second chili.
the last drop.
Maimed and mutilated.
Oh there. A word of warning, wanderer, afore you continue on your merry way. See these corpses here? Be a good fellow and take them as a hint that this town isn't the pastoral little paradise it once was. Ha! Immaculates, orcs and humans both, have taken Hunter's Edge. Its villagers are now slaves in the mines to the west, or they've been bled dry of their last drop of life, reduced to mere fuel that must light the wicked candle that is bloodstone. Long as you live in the limbo between coming and going, though, why not have a look at what I have to sell? You'd be surprised to see what a scouring skeleton can gather together in a dying town. Yeah! Well, don't go round angering Immaculates if you want to keep your vitals intact. Though perhaps it won't be very long before they have a stab at one another's vitals instead. I have the feeling there's trouble brewing between the orcs and the humans in there, and who can blame 'em really? Just ain't natural for 'em to consort, I say. Only good orc... Well, you know how the phrase goes. Can't say I remember who I was before the change came over me, but these days I'm a travelling trader of sorts. There's an immaculate necromancer in the village ahead. She's the one who brought me back from, well, wherever I was. She's an especially bright one, you know. Most necromancers can only revive a dead corpse into an animated one, but she manages to yank back some semblance of consciousness too. I don't remember much, but the thrill of trade certainly calls to me. Maybe I was a merchant in my former life, who knows? These days, most undead are busy haunting Syceal or picking the way in the Lucula mines. But I keep a low profile and stay out of sight. Haven't been bothered by an immaculate yet, and I hope to keep it that way. I know the weapons of which you speak. I've even hidden away a piece of one myself. I had planned to pass it down to my son, but... Or maybe you could make better use of it now.
You can speak. You don't look like a tribesman or orc, but I suppose I can't be certain. Then again, I've never heard of a dark soul gifted with the speech of the wild. Jinxica is my name, and until recently I lived a placid sort of life among the people of Hunter's Edge. The baker might leave me a bit of milk left over from this breakfast. The barkeep stroked my back between filling glasses. I had many friends here, but none so dear as a little trio. A married pair and their daughter, employed by the wizard to keep his home. They spent many long hours squashing fleas that plagued me and shared their warm beds with me each night. If you come to this village to help and not to harm, you might be able to save those 3 kind souls from the orcs that have invaded. Ugh, such misery in our sad town. A kind but private man he is. He set up his home here several years ago, but never remained there long enough before jetting off to tend to some matter or other. The Dark Invaders seem very interested in him indeed. They've been skulking around outside the house since they arrived, but not even one of their filthy vermin can penetrate the wizard's protective enchantments. Would that an invasion were all! They destroyed every crumb of life they could find and sent their filthy rats to seek out those who evaded them. Each life they took infused their strange stones with power. Their queen glowed with delight as a parade of victims were slain before her. It was as though she was taking in a beautiful song. The human tribe came shortly after. They had their own supply of the glowing stones, and the orc queen took no easy liking to them. Still, it seems they are working towards some similar goal. They haven't destroyed one another. Yet. They've survived this carnage so far by concealing themselves most cleverly. I've done my best to guard their hiding place from the slime-bellied rats attempting to sniff them out. But I fear my efforts aren't enough. Until the village has been rid of vermin, those 3 sweet souls may be found at any time. Savages by savages employed. The orcs have one among them. The rat catcher, they call him, who claims to have trained rats to do his bidding. They've swarmed the place in search of hidden villagers, and unless every last one of them is split from tail to snout, they're sure to find my friends. But you're not like the brutes inside those walls. No, you approached me with hand, not boot, outstretched. Perhaps you could help me. With these rats running about, it's only a matter of time before my friends are caught. They must be squashed, every last one of them. I've done my best so far, but there are simply too many for one set of claws to handle. With your help, though, with your help, it could be done. The rats gone, my friends safe. Oh, that bothersome old Tom. No, he and I are hardly friendly, much less friends. I've much more important things on my mind than him and his incessant pestering. I can slip through these walls as I please, but you'll need to find your own way into the village. And remember, my friend, kill every last rat you find, or 3 dear souls will be lost.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. I'm watching on with weary eyes how the Immaculates strike again. They've gone from shedding blood among their own to recruiting orcs and cutthroats to do it for them. From what I can tell, the village of Hunter's Edge is this cult's most wretched victim. It was once a quiet sort of village. Families and small-time merchants mostly. Recently, it was targeted by a tribe of orcs waving the Immaculate banner. Their leader, Grutilda, is known far and wide for her cruelty and cunning. She oversaw the murder of countless villagers and used their blood to fuel a great number of bloodstones. Once they were dead, they were reanimated as undead corpses and sent to work in the mines of Lacula. By order of Leandra, the orcs were joined by a tribe of humans from the northern peaks of Tanneroth. A band of male warriors are they, and they devote allegiance to their leader, Jarl. Jarl arrived with his own formidable supply of bloodstones, which means his tribe has been operating under directions from the conduit for some time. Where once they ransacked for base pleasure and material gain, now they do it by the will of the goddess. These are far from the blindly devoted Immaculates of Silverglen, however. The orcs and the humans here alternate between bitter fighting and hostile peace. Personally, I believe they're best exploited through their rivalry. Get them to fight each other, and you can stand on the sidelines and warm yourself upon the flames. Ah, yes, that was a small fib on my part, I'm afraid. Zandalore is known as the Keeper of the Source, after all. And I didn't know how Source Hunters would react to my association with such a colorful character. He has a residence at the far end of town. Though I have my doubts he's having people over for tea now that the Immaculates have landed. Know that Zandalore is wily, so beware. If a wizard doesn't want you in his home, you'll know it. Pity the intruder that heedlessly tries to waltz his way into that dwelling. Nevertheless, his house is the very place you'll want to search. The accumulated knowledge stored there is quite phenomenal, and beyond a doubt one of Leandra's most urgent pursuits.
You there, Flatlander. State your business. Come to play now the town's been taken, have you? Typical you Flatlanders. Lucky for you, the goddess don't discriminate against cowards. Well, come quickly then. There's still townsfolk on the loose, and the chase has probably made them wild as cornered dogs. One might pop out of a bush and take an eye before you can shout your own name. Better you first check in with the higher-ups. You've got Jarl, the righteous leader of Weird the Mountain, and blood-stained Gratilda, queen dog of the giant toads. Trust me, you'll know her when you see her. Now scram, and make your introductions before word gets to them there's an intruder here. Well, I'll let you in. Get on with your business then.
Is that what you call those thimbles on your toesies?
I feel like I've just had a long bath in a cold lake.
Comrade, did you hear that? It sounds like these Immaculates are at odds with the local orc savages. We may be able to turn this to our advantage. I'll keep a sharp eye out for anything we could use to nudge these factions closer to chaos. If we can get them to destroy each other, we'll kill two birds without even having to pick up a stone. Nothing would please me more than seeing Hunter's Edge cleared of the scum that destroyed it. I may not be able to undo the past, but together we can dole out justice for those who've suffered.
I ain't afraid of a single frog-skinned one of you.
Die, vermin!
Stand up and face me. What do you think you're doing to that rat? We need those vermin to find the hidden villagers. Try it again, and you'll wish you hadn't.
Nightshade.
These rats seem important to the Immaculates.
If we're going to exterminate them, we've got to find a better way to do it.
There are countless rats inside this hole, waiting to be lured out at the slightest temptation.
Now, Chief's orders. That other tusk's yours to keep in the meantime.
That's so. Jarl can't stand the thought all tried getting ripped to shreds, can he?
You dare assault my soldiers, human? You dare not only to poison the golden goodness, but to feed it to my brave soldiers? Friend to filthy felines, are you? May the next cheese you find snap your neck in twain. Any rodent with half a mind would recognize me by the diadem encircling my kingly head. I am the king of rats, of course, the ruler and leader of all rodent kind. That must be the monster who's been slaughtering my men by the dozens. Kind knight, I, his rodent highness, do make a request. Remove that beast from this town. Spare my men the claw and tooth. I'd consider you a true friend if you'd oblige me in this matter. And the loyalty of my friends never goes unrewarded. Touched by madness he is. Imagine an orc believing he could train the god's most intelligent creature. I assure you, it is we who have trained him. We perform the tiniest of tasks, and he rewards us with delicious golden cheese. I, responsible for the welfare of each of my subjects, secure the wealth and glory of our kingdom by contracting certain occupations through which we obtain security, honor, and above all, cheese. A certain orc, the one who so erroneously calls himself Ratcatcher, has won our employment. He tells us what to find, and in exchange for a generous wheel of Gorgonver or Gouda, we oblige. I've nearly closed in on this particular target, a trio of stinking humans who I believe to be cowering in their cellar. But I've lost too many men to this bloodthirsty feline. I won't send more troops into the unknown until the beast is caught. Find me in the tavern cellar if you desire a second consultation. The smell of whiskey in there does so delight a king's senses.
Even the name sounds diseased. Can't come to us today.
Blasted mosquitoes. Never a moment's peace with these filthy vermin buzzing in me. Oh, brother, I've crossed me pests. 'Tweren't a tiny winged bloodsucker whining at me, but a tiny-footed one. Brother, I think the human's asking me a question. Think I ought to tell the tiny pest who I am? Ought I tell her I lost this horn in a scuffle with another ickle human? Maybe it was this one's brother. That pesky bugger might have got me on, but I've got something too. His wee head.
Human, even the name sounds diseased. Can't come to us.
Am I gay? Look here! Look at you! How I admire one whose head is lodged so firmly upon their shoulders, like a spire that rests upon the breadth of its foundations, one and indivisible. Not I, alas. I fare not so. For I may replace my battered cranium as jauntily as a wizard may his hat. Just consider some of these examples here before me. How I admire this one's kingly brow, that one's exquisite jaw, yonder one's deep-set sockets that held a warrior's eyes. Why make a permanent choice? Why not cater to the occasion as called for? I would, but for the question, where does the soul reside? And so I ask, where are you, O ephemeral soul? If in a tooth you may be pulled, if in an arm you may be broken, where are you, O delicate monstrosity? As have we all. Townsfolk would sit on these benches and talk about their day. Children would sprinkle water at one another and snigger. Now their mouths neither talk nor snigger any longer. And all that is sprinkled about is blood. Days pass me by no longer, only the dreams of what was, but can never be again. Surely you jest when you question this question's importance. Say I opt for that there fair-featured sovereign of a scar. What happens if another soul lies therein sequestered? If I play the part of the aforementioned wizard, and swap its rugged lineaments for the feeble ones that are my own, who shall I become? I. Yes. Who is I, then? Were I sure that the soul houses within the chest, within one's little toe, for all I care, I would fret not so. But the certainty I long for remains as impossible to find as one specific raindrop in the rain. You, oh, I beg of you, have you not the answer?
You needn't worry. Unlike our heads and our bodies, it is we and our souls that are one and indivisible.
Claptrap. He has become an unnatural shadow of his former self. He shouldn't seek for his soul. He should seek to end his dreadful existence instead.
Can you really be so heartless as to call him soulless?
We've met our share of undead, and they were all abominations. Why would this fellow be an exception?
No, we'll do as I say, and there's an end to it.
But of course, why was I so blind? The soul is not of the body, it is of the spirit. A new skull I shall have. but same person I'll remain. Oh, the agony of choice. I think I'll opt for the one with the kingly brow.
Me do his dirty work. I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet for Jarl's mead.
What? Where in the blazes? The last I knew was an orc coming at me with an axe.
Hello again. Do you bring good news? Strange. I never knew those savages capable of even the most basic form of order. But this bodes well, does it not? Perhaps, if you can get rid of their king, the rats will stop their search. What's a body without a head, after all?
What's this, then? Who in the hells are you? And where am I? These aren't my bones. I was made of sterner stuff, make no mistake. Switched skulls? What do you want about, you loon? This is intolerable. I used to be an important man round these parts, you know. I demand respect. The mayor I was and the mayor I am still. Now leave me be. For I've important municipal matters to attend to.
Switching skulls did make him swap souls after all.
On the bright side, we seem to have answered one of the world's oldest questions.
The dog looks up at you with misery-ridden eyes. Its tail doesn't wag, and when it tries to bark or speak, only silence reaches your ears. The dog hangs its head, then looks north. Filled with fury, it barks noiselessly in the direction of the forest.
The human's the one who took it. Well, well, well. Thought you could get away with it, did ya? Don't look so confused, Pinky. The armory key. Hand it over. Painting my toenails pale lilac, of course. What does it look like, you ape? I'm hunting for a missing key. I'm the All-Mother's right hand. If there's something she needs done by someone she knows can do it, I'm the one she calls. This little key ordeal, don't change that. It's small, metal, fits in a keyhole. Help us look or shove off, will ya? I've got to find the key before the old mother finds out it's missing, or she'll carve a spear at me right tusk.
To the armory is missing. It could prove rather worth our time to find it.
Source hunter, scavenger hunter. For better or worse, our resumes are growing.
The human's the one who took it.
One side. I ain't got time for chatting till I find the damn thing. What does that matter? Quit buzzing in my ear before I squash you like we did the rest of the pests in this blasted place. You'd be too if you'd misplaced something of Gratilda's. I once saw her skin her own foot soldier alive for mispronouncing All-Mother. And he'd only done it after she'd knocked his teeth out for sneezing in her presence. What's worse is, the coward's blaming his troubles on me, only because I happened to be passing by when he noticed his armory key was missing. I'd tell him to piss off and be on my way, but he'd threatened to tell Gratilda it's me who stole it. Somehow, I doubt I'll get to tell my side of things before my head was shorn clear off. Not a damn thing in all the 12 hills of hell. This idiot orc has no idea where he's lost the damn thing. So he's taken to blaming me, a passerby. It's just like an orc to save his own skin by flaying someone else.
It's the one who took it. Look in every cranny now. The old mother won't like to hear a human's been thieving from an orc.
You know damn well I wouldn't touch anything of yours with a 10-hand pole.
I'd never have judged a few grimy ground dwellers, and lost ones at that, to be worth all this fuss.
Chief knows what he knows. He says, find the cellar, so that's what we do.
Well, for all he knows, they could be knee-deep in forest muck, miles away from here.
The forest? So that settles it. You really are big a buffoon as you look. No one gets into the Phantom Forest, brother. No one.
And the conduit? Chief says she's there as we speak.
That thick brain of yours is better suited for gruel than for thinking. Of course she's there. She's got the goddess within her. Come on, then. We've got a cellar to find. Your chatter won't scare it into the open, you know. By the wings of Freo Fuldawn, I bet my left ear there ain't no cellar here. You there! Any cellars popping out the woodwork in your watch?
Plates and rubbish. I ain't a bleeding maid.
It never rains, but it pours, eh?
Is it against Orcish custom to take a dip in the river now and again? You smell like a wounded hog.
Here anyway. It's no surprise a dainty thing like you can't handle a bit of mush. Shall I run you a bubble bath, darling? Lace it with rose oil, shall I?
What do you mean by? Damned if I bother justifying my manhood to a beast like you.
What's all this about your manhood, small bones? I'd like to hear more on that subject.
Your mind's as filthy as your underarms. Go suck on a sick troll's sleeping nostril, will you?
A bit of fight left in your armour. Well, why'd I go for a troll when I've got so many tasty humans right here in town? You must be itching to lose your fingers if you dare disturb my camp, human.
What are you playing at, Toadskin? Watch how you address us, you betters. You did hear how Oneless Gorag got his name, after all.
Yeah, piss off then. Go and gab amongst yourselves like a pair of chickens, why don't ya? I could ask the same of you, small bones. I don't go stopping up to you in a ballet class demanding to know which pirouette you're doing next, do I? What? That's disgusting. A tiny pink-fleshed human and an orc like myself? Why, I've got eyes for the great Gratilda alone.
Uli, we can't hide forever.
Hide what? You think this stranger knows anything about the two of us, Ulfric? I tell you now, that twerp don't know a thing.
Enough, Uli. Enough. Surely this stranger has no reason to put us in harm's way. We're all sworn immaculates here, are we not? There are certain secrets that perhaps we, beneath the goddess's eye, may share in good faith.
Well, first thing you have to understand, we orcs aren't made to love it all. Nah, we're born devoted to our queen, and to her we turn all our attentions. To seek fulfillment outside the queen's graces, well, it's a treason committed only once in a red moon among we orcs. And the penalty's a terrible death. When we first took the village, I couldn't tell Ulfric apart from the rest of the pink little ants scurrying about. A human was a human, as far as I was concerned.
As for me, Ulor stood out right away. The curve of his horns, his regal bearing. He was fascinating. I'd never seen an orc as anything but an enemy, but suddenly I couldn't keep my eyes off this great green brute. I suppose my staring was rather conspicuous.
You suppose? Oh, I thought you were aiming to slit my throat the way you were watching me.
I couldn't help myself. It was almost supernatural. But when Ulor marched over to me, club in hand, to address my strange behaviour, something happened.
Love at first sight, if you can believe it. I came over aiming for a fight, but all I found in Ulfric's eyes was, well, whatever it was, it hasn't left me since.
Please, if you've any mind for sparing two fellows a terrible fate, you'll swear to keep our secret to yourself. We've committed no sin greater than experiencing a love as sweet and pure as any. But if we were discovered, it would mean certain death for us both.
We swear it indeed. We'll not see anyone harmed for daring to love.
We cannot swear an allegiance to a pair of sneaks.
I've long prayed you considered true love worth protecting.
Oughtn't we to keep every possible bargaining chip we come across in this hostile place?
No, we'll do as I say.
Ah, friend. Your words are a great relief to my beloved and I. I can't explain how or why we found these feelings, but there's one thing I know for certain. We are no traitors, and our service to the cause remains true. Your discretion is worth its weight in gold. Goddess bless you.
Don't like you or something like that.